Okay, we thought we'd give you guys a little bit of a progress update. Um, the seeds that we started in the Jiffy seed starter a couple of weeks ago, some of them are already coming up. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more. I'm not as familiar with penstemon, but we do have a few up. Um, our coleus, it seems like, I don't know, but there are a few things, but some of these don't have hardly anything. There's maybe one little tiny one there. But I thought that this was kind of weird. Like I was saying, the Jiffy, it's almost like it's kind of spongy. It's I don't know, and it tends to want to pull away from, it's just so airy. I mean, it's nice to work with. Oh, I'm poking a little guy that's trying to come up down. That's a pepper. So that was that. Remember, there were different colors, red and white and yellow. So these are the peppers. This is the celery, and there's one tiny little one here. We've tried to be really careful, and these do need some water now. We probably should have watered earlier today, but we were just trying to get everything done outside. But they're taking a little while. Oh, I can see some in here. So I think it's just, a matter of time, which isn't it always. And we're trying not to move the seeds around too much. Remember, these were just laying on top because that's just how celery likes to be. So just giving this a good drink, and I probably have like shoot a few off down the sides of these caverns. I mean, look at that, how it's kind of pulled away. And so there might be some seeds living down in there. But anyway, but these are coming along and we're pretty happy with them. So I wanted to make sure and show you these. And then we want to give you another progress update on the ones that we planted 4 weeks ago, 2 weeks before these. So we're kind of going backwards, but sorry, I guess that's me. Okay. So let's get this out of the way. Okay, the dog sees something out the window, so there may be a little growling in the background. But anyway, I'll finish watering that stuff in here in a minute, but I just wanted to show you this stuff that we planted exactly, well, yeah, 4 weeks ago today. I mean, it was on 2/2 and today's 3/2. Of course, you know how February is only 28 days, at least it was this year. Anyway, but we have a lot of stuff up. Let's start over here, actually. This is the wild bergamot. I'm so excited for it, and I'm sorry this little guy doesn't have anything, but everywhere else does. As a matter of fact, there was one, I think I'm not sure, might have been in this cell. It was already touching the light, and we turned off these front lights because the light was just intense and killing, the camera shot. So plus it's nicer because, oh my gosh, it's so hot. We still have a little bit of gnat issue going on in here. We're trying really hard not to have to spray anything or introduce anything. We're using our little gnat catcher things. Where's one? This one's just in a heavy pot, but we've got this one. It's got a few customers on it, so that's going on. But anyway, but we're trying to deal with it and even smush them as we see them. So I'm just running my hands over these just to kind of help strengthen their stems. And we were just talking about the fact that we probably need to go ahead and introduce our fan in here now that we've got some that are up so tall, because they need that. They need to be uh, winded. They need to be moved around, and that's what helps make them strong. Think about it's exercise. And then we've got these, and I'm kind of disappointed in these. That's actually, so remember, we used some soil that we already had, and some things are coming up in here that aren't what we planted. So these are our geraniums, and they look really good, and those are those bullseye. And look at how pretty that leaf is. It's just so pretty. But this, I'm pretty sure, is a petunia. We had a lot of petunias last year, so that's coming up. But I'm not gonna. I mean, it's fine. It's not crowding anything. You know, there might be a no. It's just looking good. So anyway, we'll give this a little bit more time to see. But I know that we planted every pot because we didn't plant one because we only had one seed per cell. So
Weren't these leftover seeds from last year and they were pelletized?
no,
No, I thought they were.
no,
Sorry.
these were some new geraniums that we tried. So I don't know. We'll see. Um, but and oh yeah, there's one of those guys. So these are oh no, these are not. Yeah, sorry. These were all from 4 weeks ago. These are actually just from 2 weeks ago. So this is our 4 o'clocks right here, and they're just so happy to be here. Um, I don't remember. I guess I didn't put what the variety was, but anyway. And then this is Gomfrina, and yeah, that was also 2 weeks ago. So those are doing really well as well. I think we have one cell that doesn't have anything coming up yet. My gosh, look at those gnats. So after I thought, I said we didn't have too bad of a gnat problem, it's looking like we're having a little bit more of a gnat problem again. So whatever. But we'll take care of that. We've got a few plans. And then this is this is all supposed to be black-eyed Susans. It's that cherry brandy. And I planted those a month ago, 4 weeks ago. So we have nothing going on over here that I see. This is yet another petunia, this and this, and maybe that. I'm not sure about this one or this one or this one, but these hairy ones, they're definitely, see, something's trying to poke out from underneath that one. These ones that look like almost like a little cactus leaf, those are definitely the black-eyed Susans. So I don't know. These the germination rate, I'm gonna have to go back and look. Now I know these take a little while, and we have had a hard time starting black-eyed Susans or Rudbeckia from seed. So I know it's a challenge, but we're gonna really start working on some of these cells that don't have anything coming up yet, and we might just go ahead and put some vermiculite and get those domed. We'll get them domed and see how they do, and hopefully we'll get a little more out of them before it's time for them to go into the greenhouse or out into the landscape. So anyway, we just wanted to give a quick update about where we stand on this stuff, and I'm just going to keep working away at watering and planting, and we will keep you posted on how it all goes. And remember, it's all an experiment. Thanks. Hey everybody, we wanted to give some updates on some of the seed starting and things we've been doing in the grow room, and we thought you'd want to see. I always like to watch when I'm watching these videos on YouTube and learning about how somebody's starting something out. They do the video and then they never come back and let you know what happened. Did it come up? Did it die? Did you water it too much? Like what sort of things happen. So I think it's a good idea to kind of give you some updates as things progress. And if you followed along in this video series, you know that we've been planting seeds in here, and we have several up. And we've learned a few things, and we've been disappointed definitely by a couple of things. So, but that's the way it is. Like we always say, it's an experiment. So anyway, but today we are working on, I want to pinch a couple of things back, not in this tray. I'll show you here in a minute. But also, since we have so many things that are well established and up, we like to go ahead and give them some more nutrients. Remember, this soil was not as nutrient rich as the potting soil that we'll eventually put them in. So we want to go ahead and give them a feed, and we just use actually just using some indoor houseplant food because that's what I have in here. And this one is a Spoma brand, but there's others out there you can use. But I like to use this, and it smells, but it's not too strong, so it's okay to use in the house. But we want to get that going. So I was just going to show you how we do that, and we like to just kind of mix it up in gallon jugs. It's easy to measure that way. This particular food takes 2 teaspoons, which is the little capful for that size bottle. It takes 2 teaspoons per quart. So for a gallon, obviously, we need 8 teaspoons or 2 full capfuls. So that's what's in there. And some other things that we do, we wanted to show you. We take, these in particular orange juice bottles, but any kind of thicker, not like a water bottle, those that are real thin that crackle when you squeeze them, but these are, kind of a heavy duty plastic, and we like to poke holes in them, and then we use those to just kind of give everything a good little squirt without, just dumping a bunch of water in there. So we like to do that. And these are actually full, and I want to use those to to feed with rather than pouring out of here. Okay, I decided that I didn't want both of these full of just plain water, so we dumped some out into another watering can because, a few things we're just gonna water. We're not gonna feed because they're not big enough yet, but these are nice and established. So I'm gonna go ahead and get our watering orange juice bottle filled up, because this whole tray is established enough to take some food on. So these are the Gomfrina, and I'm very excited about those. I'm gonna come in and have a looky. Something happened here. Could have been where I was, had a seed go pa-choing or something, because I think I was trying to do, I can't remember now, I'll have to go back and look, but I've got like 3 here, 1 here, 1 here, 2 here, 1 there, 2 here, none, and then look over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in that cell. So either they took off on me, or I just missed it, or you just never know. It could be that there's some in there and they just didn't make it. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this. Sorry you have to see our gnat sticky. God, we have just, oh look, that's exciting. There's something besides a gnat on there. And I actually know where there's another one up on the shelf that caught a mosquito. So that was like bonus, bonus death, I guess, if you will call it that. Anyway, but so, don't look at that. But these are our 4 o'clocks, and they are, where's the tag for this? Oh, there it is, yeah, 4 o'clocks. So both of these were planted up, were seeded on 216, so it's been about 3 weeks, and they're looking great, so they're very happy. I don't know why these are so strange looking, but their root system is weird. This little guy, oh, and he's got a bug on him, but he's not doing great. His brethren in the other part of his cell is doing good. So anyway, we're happy with all that. So we're going to give them a quick, and really, I don't know, I'll just leave that there for now, but I'm probably going to take that out. And these are pretty moist, but again, we're feeding, and I'm not too worried about, we're not out in the sun and the hot sun's getting after them, but I'm not too worried about getting the foliage wet. We're doing a foliar feed, I guess you would say, and it's okay. It's not going to hurt them. They're not going to get burned or anything like that. So I'm just going to make sure I'm getting enough moisture on the top here. gosh, these are doing great. I'm very excited for them because I've never grown 4 o'clocks before from seed. And they come back every year outside for us. They're a perennial. And we have some out in the landscape now, so there we go. So that tray is doing really well. And then I wanted to show you what happened. So this tray was all supposed to be black-eyed Susans. This was the beautiful dark burgundy, they were called cherry brandy Rudbeckia or black-eyed Susans. And they didn't do great. So it was the whole tray. And the only thing that we ended up with, this is for sure one. I'm pretty sure this is not one underneath. There's a little something there, but I don't think that's one. Any of these, remember these with the kind of hairy leaves, those are the Rudbeckia. So that's those. Not sure what that is. Pretty sure this is a petunia. Again, we reuse some of the soil, and there's just always a little bit of something left over from pots that we've, dumped out. And what I noticed was they really had a lot of gnats on them. And I don't know if this is just an old wives' tale or a myth, a garden myth, whatever. And I've heard people say don't do it. I've heard people say do it. I don't know, but I thought, what's the problem? I'm gonna try it. So I've got cinnamon that I sprinkled all over these trays, and it actually, it might be helping a little bit. I don't know if it suffocates them or smothers them. I'm gonna look a little further into that, but I didn't think it would hurt anything, and it smells good. So I went ahead and did that on these, and then I took everything that didn't have anything in it, kind of reworked the soil just a little bit, and I had a whole bunch of alyssum. And so I put some alyssum the other day, seeds in here, because I'd already done some in another smaller, I'll show you that in a minute, that we didn't record, but we planted up some alyssum. But anyway, this is alyssum, and I always know that it's gonna do really well. So obviously it is, because look at how good it's doing. And I did put some vermiculite over the top just to kind of keep its moisture level going. And I've been using some trays. We cannot find our trays that fit these trays. I'm sorry, we can't find our humidity domes that fit these trays. And we ordered some, and they still weren't the right size. Well, hey, little doggy showed up. So, we're just sort of, kind of working on putting domes wherever we need them, and it's no big deal. And we have some other trays that we have that specifically fit domes, and we'll show you those in a little bit. But anyway, since these are up, and I'm not too worried about using the domes anymore since they're so high up, so far up, established. So I'm going to go ahead and just give these all a feed. And these are so tiny, they don't, this is kind of overkill, the amount of dirt that they have in the beginning, but you know what? These will grow fast, and they will get some pretty good roots established, so they'll need this. And we may have to, the chances are good that we'll come back in once these are up pretty high, and I'll come in and separate and put these in their own pots. Maybe not everyone, but like a cluster. Like I may break this cell up into 4 quadrants and put those, kind of spread them out and put those in their own, 3 or 4 inch pot or whatever. So anyway, I just saw a gnat in here. Yeah, they're still here, but I'm gonna go ahead and give these guys a drink. That petunia can live, it's okay. Yeah, I think half of these are Rudbeckia and half are petunias, so that's okay. We're gonna take the petunias too. And does kind of it almost makes it look like red dirt mud. Anyway, so I'm not gonna use that dome right now. And I've had this turned the other way, so I'm gonna turn it this way this time. So we've got that going on. And, oh yeah, here's my cinnamon. I left it in here, so in case you need to know about that. But then, I was just gonna show you how fast some of this stuff can come up. So this is one of the trays. This had a dome also in vermiculite. And this was the alyssum that I first planted. So that's been so it's been a week since I planted this whole tray. These are zinnias. These are some I'm really excited about these zinnias. They're key lime pie. And these are those thumbelinas that are the shorter ones. So I'm excited for those. So this feels pretty light. And you know, you can kind of judge. You can see when things look pretty wet. But you can also judge by just lifting those trays. And if they're real heavy, you probably got quite a bit of moisture level still in them. But when they're kind of light like that, you know, they're needing some water. And even though these are just a week old, I'm going to go ahead and give them a little spritz of food. It's not going to hurt. And they may turn into monsters before it's all over with. But again, on these, we can pot these up into bigger pots once they get a little bigger. I mean, it's not even time to do any pinching on them. They're not that big yet. Whoa. Don't spill it. So let's give them a quick dose of food. I don't have these on a boot tray, so I'm probably going to make a little bit of a mess. So I just sort of pulse squeeze. That's a new term. It's a gardening term I'm just making up. Pulse squeeze your orange juice bottle. And just let that kind of, okay. Try not to disturb the vermiculite too much. So what I also wanted to show you, and we have a few other things that are up, but they're coming along, but I wanted to show you the wild bergamot. And this was one of the first things that we planted. So it's been about 5 weeks almost 6, since we planted these up. And they're doing great. Who knows, again, what happened there. But we've actually, I come in here and I try to do this a few times just to get these, you know, get them strengthened, give them some exercise. But we also are now running a fan in here. So that kind of helps, you know, give them some breeze so they can blow around and get strong. But I'm going to come in and I want to snip. I want these to not be so leggy. And now that they have more leaves than their first leaves, so like the very first leaves are not considered true leaves. Okay, once they start coming up and they have more leaves, that's when you can start snipping them. But I'm not going to snip them way back here, but I am going to come in and snip right there for now. So I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to be kind of selective. And I'm doing this with my scissors, which whatever. But I'm going to come through here and just grab on these taller guys. I'm not going to worry about anything too much on these little bitty guys, but see how they just keep coming up with extra. So we're just going to strengthen these and make them to where they will bush out a little better. So I'm just going to go through and do that. especially like somebody like this. I mean, look at that. So 1, 2, 3. I tell you what, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna cut him all the way back to there. So I took that much off. And I know it seems like that's counterproductive. Why would you do that? 1, 2, 3. Because we want it to become a good, healthy plant and get established. So that's what we're doing that for. So I'm just gonna run through here and do this real quick. And we can speed it up during this part. I can even use my fingernails. And look down here. You see those extra little guys there, and there's some there and there. You can see that. That's the sign of a good healthy plant. It's already doing its own thing, branching out. This one also has some extra stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and go all the way down there with that one. So yeah, that. Just go to there on that one. Okay. Come on. I don't want to tear up the other leaves.
Could you root what you're cutting off?
You know, I don't know. Ooh, this one has a bunch down at the bottom. This cell, I must have just gone pew with the seeds, because look at it. It's just got tons of stuff going on down in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do this guy down here. And that'll have to be spread out for sure. We're gonna take that apart once it's a little bigger, and we'll just spread that out and make sure that we get those plants get plenty of room and a new home. So yeah, so that's kind of all we're doing right there. Just gonna do that now, and then I'm gonna give them a feed. I think that one's okay. These probably could go down a little bit, but that's all right. We're gonna keep an eye on them. You know, the thing is even if you're not doing anything every day, even if, you know, some things don't need as much water and so you're not watering every day, you need to come in here and have a look, because you never know, things could be happening. Things could be getting dry. Your gnat situation could be getting out of control. So you just need to sashay through and have a look and see what's going on. I mean, you've already invested all this time, effort, money. You know, you don't want to just give it up and forget about them. Now, do they have to be tended to every hour? No. And again, sometimes you don't have to do anything. You just need to have a look.
Do you ever have a talk with your plants?
I sometimes do. I would say, okay, you need to like shape up or you're going to get shipped out.
You're off the island.
I don't say that.
What she tells me.
I do talk to the gnats. I'm like, you are going down. Anyway, so that's kind of what's going on. We have other things that are coming up. We're going to start doing some more seeds. We just have a few more things that we want to do. I was looking at, we have a seed tray thing that I picked up at the dollar store. And when I say dollar store, I mean Dollar Tree. That's kind of the only dollar store I ever visit. But we get a lot of seeds from Dollar Tree. And even though they've gone to $1.25 for their format now, most everything's $1.25 in their store. Like this was $1.25, and this is, let's see if I can get that back down so you can see what it looks like. I hope you're not watching me.
Yep.
Okay, so Anyway, it's this. It's these little guys right here. So this was, does it come with two? No, I just stacked them together. But anyway, so these little guys here, it's just a little piece of, I mean, if you get takeout food, you also have these. And look, they don't have holes in them or anything, but it's a little domed thing. And I thought, you know, I'm just gonna get one and see, you know, what it would be like. And so it's American Seed brand, and I was looking at that just a minute ago, and I'm like, wait, I've seen that logo before, and it's the seeds that they sell. So I guess maybe a lot of their product is American Seed, and I just didn't pay attention. But these packets are 4 for $1. So they're not even $1.25. They're still 4 for $1. That's what they're labeled. And I got to tell you, we've had a lot of luck with growing these seeds. They don't have like a ton of different varieties, but they have enough. They have a lot of tomatoes, a lot of cucumbers, a lot of vegetables, and a lot of flowers and stuff too. So it's been worth just experimenting with these and checking them out. So I think I'm going to throw this thyme in one of these guys and just see how it does. Thyme is so easy to grow, kind of like oregano, and it can kind of take off on you too. But I'm gonna try that out in one of these today and just see how it does. So I'll report back on that. But I just wanted to show you that. And I was trying to think if there was anything else. As far as like watering and equipment, we do use a mister, and we will still on some of the smaller things or things that haven't come up yet, and especially whenever you're sowing seeds and you're just putting the seeds right.
Gotcha.
Okay. Right on the top of the soil, you want to be careful and, you know, not wash them away. So a mister is great for that. I have another mister. I'm not as fond of it because you can't really turn it upside down. This one has one of those weighted, I can show you. It has one of those weighted, oh my goodness. Somebody needs us to stop and come hold her on her lap. But it's a weighted, at the end of the hose. I don't know. And that's, you know, so it can kind of move around with the container.
I think it's also a little filter.
And it's got a filter, you're right. I just saw that. And so heaven forbid there's anything in here, but you never know. So yeah, there's a little filter.
Little screen.
Yeah. I wonder how often that needs to be cleaned. But I really like that one because you can kind of turn it upside down and not have to worry about not getting your pressure. The only thing I wish it had, this one actually has a lock. Oh, there's still some pressure built up in there. So you don't have to keep your thumb pressed on it the whole time. But this one, you have to, yeah, you have to hold it down. I don't think that there's any kind of lock to, which whatever. I mean, we're not doing that much, but and they're both just, you know, like that. So just showing you that, and then regular watering cans. This is a good one here, a dram. This comes off if you just need to do like a, you know, which actually I really should do in here. Just do a little, doesn't have to come out in a spray, but it does have a kind of a different little attachment there. Anyway, but I just wanted to kind of give you an update on some of the things, and we have several things up, so it's kind of exciting, and we'll, you know, show you those as we go along too. But you know, just wanted to talk about all that kind of stuff. So you know, if you have any ideas, if you have any questions, please just, you know, reach out through the comments, and we'll be glad to talk to you about it, because we're learning. Every year we try different things, we do different things, we try to remember from year to year things that didn't work. But, you know, if you have some ideas, let us know. Anyway, thanks for watching.